Demetric Felton right now is kind of like RB3 on the Browns depth chart behind Chubb and Ford.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about that? Do you guys think the Browns roll into the season, Demetric Felton RB3, or is somebody else going to be that guy?
I have very little confidence in that.
Okay.
Very, very little confidence. And it's kind of unfortunate, right? Because coming out, we were like, man, this guy could be a hybrid. He played a little wide receiver at UCLA. Here's my thing, though. When he had his opportunities, which there weren't a lot of, especially on special teams, he just looked like he had the jitters. Like, it was always just bobbles. And I know he had that one touchdown. It was like a little screen pass and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm comfortable putting him in a role. And let's say we get to that point where, God forbid, Chubb and Ford are both out. And this is a guy that we're going to put a heavy workload on. I'm just not comfortable with it.
I don't think. What if Ford's your leading guy for a game or something? Who's going to spell him?
Right.
So call me crazy here, but I don't think it matters who your running back 3 is.
Okay.
Because if somebody gets hurt, the Browns will just sign somebody.
This is true.
The Ravens literally just kept signing running backs last year. They're getting decent players all the time. I mean, I don't want to say they're dime a dozen, but like decent running backs. Obviously, there's your elite guys, but like decent guys who can come in and get it done for a game or a couple games. They're just sitting around out there. So come in, don't even have a running back 3. If you need one, go get one. I mean, to me, it's a thing like it's a non-issue. It doesn't matter because if these two guys are healthy, he's never getting on the field anyways. And if one of these two guys gets hurt, they'll just go sign somebody.
Well, okay. I guess that's the thing too with Felton is every time like a situation like that has come up where we're like, oh man, Kareem is about to be taking the step as the lead back. It never is that guy. It's always the practice squad guy. It's always the Dearness Johnson or the John Kelly, that kind of guy that steps in and flourishes in that role. So I honestly, I'd be very, very surprised just based on looking at the roster. And I know we haven't like really tried to drop down into final roster yet, but like to me, I look at Felton and I'm like, I don't know if he has a spot on the team. You know what I mean? He doesn't
contribute in the run game. He doesn't contribute
special
in the
teams.
Receiving game or special teams. What is his role?
Right.
Now, I'll say this. There was a time when we first drafted him when every time he touched the ball, he looked like he was going to take it to the house.
Yeah. In space, he's excellent.
In the special teams thing, did he do that in college? Did he return punts and kicks?
I don't remember. I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't think he – so in that turn – the fact that he's not that good at it in the pros, well, the pros is kind of a tough time to learn how to do something that you've never done before.
That's fair.
So I'm not holding that against him. Now, in terms of like not contributing in the running and the passing game, that's a little bit concerning. I'm just curious to see if he could ever get an opportunity. The biggest thing is, I guess the biggest question mark and red flag would be why hasn't he ever gotten it? Because there's been times, like you said, where Chubb and Kareem were both out.
Yep.
And it was Dearness and John Kelly, not Demetric Felton. So why hasn't he ever gotten that opportunity? Obviously, they saw something they liked in him when they drafted him. He's made the team every year. So what else is going on? I'm curious to see. I'd like to see him get some kind of touch just because, like we said, when he was first drafted, we were like, this guy's going to be a stud. This is going to be the steal of the draft. And then he's just kind of fallen off a cliff. So, but in terms of who's going to be the running back 3, like just don't even have one. Keep an extra wide receiver or something. You know what I mean? Like, I guess your biggest thing, you can't go in with only 2 guys into a game because if your first guy gets hurt,
you're in big trouble
in the first quarter, then, you got one running back the rest of the game. So I was being a little bit facetious when I said don't even have one, but I'm just saying it could, if Chubb goes down early in a game, okay, Ford, well, you're getting 25 carries, Demetric Felton, you'll spell him a couple times, and Monday we'll go sign a running back. And I think I think it's going to be between him and John Kelly. John Kelly, I think, has got a shot to make the roster this year.
Okay. I don't know. It's a pretty good, valid point.
There's guys out there still they can sign too, but I mean,
the one you guys talked about was Robinson.
I think that'd be so.
After hours,
I did see a little bit more about that too.
I think he would be a good fit.
Yeah. Now, like, so everything I read though is it's an injury thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think he
wasn't able to
came
get on the field.
way back too soon from the Achilles thing after 8 months or something like that. And I think he's done some serious damage to his knee because now it's a knee thing. And I don't know if he was compensating for, Achilles issues and destroyed his knee, but there's him. Darrell Henderson kind of gets floated out there a little bit.
Browns brought him in.
Yeah. He's versatile. I always see Justin Jackson a lot too.
He's
They're
So these are
this is what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Yes.
These guys are just readily available right
Yes.
now.
But these are kind of the more prototypical size running backs that I would see being able to fill in if we needed a guy. Felton's just such a small dude. Like, he's a smaller, undersized running back, and I just don't think he could hold up to even spelling Ford for a handful of carries throughout a game. I mean, he only has 8 carries in a 2-year career. So I do, but I like Robinson, barring the injury stuff. I like Henderson. I like some of these guys, like you said, Blake, that are just, they're there. They're there, and we can get them whenever.
Yep.
So let us know what you guys think. Who's going to be the Browns running back 3 this year?
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.